What's up, guys? Nathan here with the Fantasy Fanatics. I'm here with Spencer for season 2, episode 6 of the Fantasy Fanatics podcast. Spencer, how are you doing?
Props to you for keeping up how many episodes we're at right now.
It's a big deal. I mean, we're right around the corner from a check mark on Twitter. We got to keep up with it. Speaking of
Fif-
Twitter, follow us at the
51,
FF Fanatics 3.
51 subscribers left until we do a 12-hour stream on the first Sunday of football,
That's right.
11:30 to 11:30.
Hope everybody sits in with us at least at some point. Maybe for your game, we can talk to you about the game. Maybe with Brian, we'll talk shit about the Bears. So make sure to check out all of our articles, rankings, tiers, everything on our website, theFFNX.com. Sub to the YouTube channel if you're not already. If you're enjoying the content, interact with us on Twitter. We're always on there posting stuff, whether it's live as games are going or we'll put up polls. Our episode today, episode 6 of season 2, is we have 5 wide receivers that we think are being drafted ahead of value. People that us personally in our mock drafts are passing up when it comes time for the real drafts. I won't be targeting these players unless they're like way down the boards for different reasons. But you want to start? You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right. So my first one I have is DJ Moore. All I have to say for DJ Moore is Odell Beckham Jr. We saw what Baker Mayfield has done before with an elite receiver. I'm a massive DJ Moore fan. I believe in the talent. But a couple things. Christian McCaffrey going to soak up a lot of work, a lot of targets. And I'm just not a Baker believer. If you can't do it with Nick Chubb and Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry and Kareem Hunt, I don't see how you're going to be able to do it with DJ Moore. If I was the Panthers coaching staff, whoever's calling the plays, I would push the ball to DJ Moore. I think he's so good. I think he is wasting his career in Carolina. Even though we live right down the road, I would love to see DJ Moore do well, but I just don't see it this year. What do you think?
Yeah, he put up good stats last year. I saw something on Twitter that said he had the worst like touchdown to catch ratio or something like touchdown to target ratio of all time. And he still, finished good. But I mean, Baker Mayfield was not good last year. I don't know if it was because he was, hurt or he just regressed. I don't hate DJ Moore in fantasy. I just don't like him going as the wide receiver 15.
Agreed.
And how early he's going. It says 46 on here.
I see him going higher than that.
When we do our ESPN drafts, he's going in the 20s.
I see him going in the 30s a lot.
He's ranked
I think
at
that's too high.
28th or something
I think that's way too high. I would be looking at him in the same area that people are taking guys like DK Metcalf and people are taking, who else goes around there?
Gabe Davis.
Darnell Mooney, Gabe Davis, Allen Robinson, Amari Cooper, that kind of range. That's more maybe at the top end of that. But, I mean, DJ Moore has shown that with bad quarterback play, he can still produce. Last year he had 1,157 yards and 4 tuds. So, I mean, if you see the touchdowns rise a little bit, he's, right at the probably lower tier of the wide receiver 1s, high-end wide receiver 2. It's just, I just don't believe in Baker.
I could see him succeeding if they force feed him the ball.
Right.
Which they should.
I do think Baker is an upgrade to Sam Darnold, but not enough to warrant, reaching for DJ Moore. That's my only thing.
The talent is there. The situation is not great. I have Devonta Smith. He's going as the wide receiver 35 right now. My reasoning is for this is because I think he is the third target in a run-heavy offense with a run-heavy quarterback. I know you like Devonta Smith, the player. I don't mind Devonta Smith, the player. But Devonta Smith in fantasy, he had 64 catches and 916 yards last year. I see that going down. A.J. Brown just arrived to the team. He's gonna get a crap ton of targets. Super good. And Dallas Goedert, only another year of getting better.
Very underrated, yeah.
So, my reason, I have him at 40. He's the number 3 target in a run-heavy offense. I mean,
agreed.
I don't think he cracks 100 yards, and I don't think he cracks 5.
100 yards?
I mean, 1,000 yards. I don't think he cracks 5 touchdowns either. He's going in the 80s. I would like more, early 110s maybe.
I mean, I think that may be a little excessive just because I mean he's a big play guy, just like AJ Brown. Like they're a long touchdown waiting to happen. Um, a lot of this depends on how Jalen Hurts has progressed as a passer. I mean, I know we have a small sample size of one preseason game as we're recording this, and he looked good. I don't want to overreact to that, but if he can progress to like more of a competent passer because he makes up a lot of it with his legs. Devonta Smith, I think, could be a flex to wide receiver 2 option with AJ Brown there and Goddard, like you said. But I agree with your points. I would take him a little higher than you would wait for him just because of the talent, but I completely understand your point.
I would compare him to Rashad Bateman last year.
I think
The
he's
number
better than Bateman.
the number three, I do too, but the number 3 target in a run heavy offense, a good tight end, and a good wide receiver in front of him.
That's fair. That's fair. But I think Jalen Hurts is going to be a better passer than Lamar.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't really like Jalen Hurts, so that's kind of my reasoning. I like him for fantasy. I think he's going to be a great fantasy quarterback. I don't like Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, as much as others do.
Yeah, and when you play for Nick Sirianni, you got that dog in you. So
Exactly.
you never know. All right. So my next wide receiver. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just asking who you got.
Yeah, my next wide receiver is Michael Pittman for the Colts. He's going as wide receiver 14 right now. I think that is absolute insanity. Now, I think going from Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan is definitely an upgrade throwing the ball, but I mean,
and I have him down for 13 for you. That's not an updated graphic.
Yeah, no, he has since moved back. I mean, he's on the same team as Jonathan Taylor. Need I say much more with Matt Ryan, who's very immobile. So if it's not like a quick strike, at least Carson Wentz can move around and throw the long ball to him once he's bought some time. But Matt Ryan's not going to be doing that. The offensive line is definitely better. But I mean, even in Atlanta, when we saw Matt Ryan have time, I mean, he wasn't really looking deep. So he's going to be handing the ball off.
Player in that offense that we do love coming in the tight ends video.
That is correct.
So wait for I think we'll have that one tomorrow. The tight ends that we love. But continue on about Michael Pittman. I'm going to interrupt you, actually.
No, go ahead.
I think he is a good player.
Agreed.
Who could have a really good season, just not going to be a top 15 receiver.
No, yeah.
Anything can happen, but
I could see him getting to a wide receiver too if he has a great year. I mean, maybe flex, but I think he's being overdrafted personally. I think people are buying into the Matt Ryan hype too much. I mean, he's on the downside of his career.
And Matt Ryan's number 1 target last year had 1 touchdown.
Yeah, a little bit of a better situation as well with their O-line and running game. So maybe that helps Michael Pittman. But I mean, when you got Jonathan Taylor, you're going to be giving him 15 to 20 touchdowns. So it's only so many for Michael Pittman to get.
Yeah. But my last one is Elijah Moore. He's a very popular receiver right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's going as the wide receiver 29. I think that's crazy. I think he should be around that Devonta Smith territory. I have him as the 33rd best wide receiver. You have him as the 37th.
Mm-hmm.
As we're recording right now, it sounds like Zach Wilson does have a serious injury. It could come out that it's a bone bruise, in a couple, when you're seeing this and you think we're an idiot. But this was before Zach Wilson had his injury, and we're going to move him back spots. I mean, if Zach Wilson, has a bad injury.
Hypothetically, obviously hypothetically, if they end up with Jimmy G and Zach Wilson is out, where do you put Moore?
I'd put him late 30s, around 37, 38, where you have him. So back a few spots, not drastically, but he's the wide receiver 2 in a bad offense.
I think that's fair. Do you think he's the wide receiver 2?
I think Garrett Wilson is better, yes.
Okay. I mean, Elijah Moore showed flashes last year. I thought he looked all right. I think he's got potential. I just think he's in a really bad situation. And
that could have just got worse.
Yeah, and you got a shiny new toy in the backfield. They're going to want to use him a lot, along with Michael Carter. So it's a hard one because I think he's a talented player. But
people might make that point if they do get Jimmy G that he supported the best wide receiver or the second best wide receiver in fantasy last year. No other player is Deebo Samuel.
And Elijah Moore's not taking handoffs.
Yeah, exactly. No other wide receiver is doing that. Maybe AJ Brown. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But if it is serious, who knows if they even get Jimmy G? They might roll with Joe Flacco and make this a rebuild year.
Hey, Super Bowl MVP.
So I don't love Elijah Moore now. could have just gotten worse.
Right. My last one is Jaylen Waddle. People are expecting big things from Tua. I personally think he's going to have a bounce back year. I know Spencer absolutely hates him. Post every bad throw on our Twitter. I do not support the hate for Tua.
I love Jaylen Waddle though. Do not like Tua. Love Jaylen Waddle.
Waddle's a fantastic player, super fast. But he's going to be the wide receiver 2 in the offense. That's also got Gesicki. Also has 4 running backs. Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Sony Michel, and Myles Gaskin. You have to give them touches, so it's gonna be weird.
If there was another player to take Debo's role, I said AJ Brown. Jaylen Waddle could be that guy too. Like he's not as big, but he is so stupid fast.
He's very fast, but so he'd get explosive. Murdered. I think he'd get absolutely smashed. Debo's like solid, like he's built like a truck.
And Devin Singletary or Jaylen Waddle's built like Devin Singletary.
Did you just say Devin Singletary? Oh my god,
they're both so small. I looked up Devin Singletary's height today. He's 5'6" or 5'7".
Mm-hmm.
That's like crazy small. But
low bowling ball. Waddle is currently going as wide receiver 13. Last year he had 1,015 yards and 7 tuds. I mean, it's a good season. It's what wide receiver 2 to flex. Probably wide receiver 2 last year.
Had a crap ton of catches too.
Yeah, I just think Tyreek Hill is going to draw a lot of attention, and when you got Tyreek Hill, you got to throw him the ball. So it's going to be interesting. And people
Tua might be forcing him the ball.
Yeah,
might not hit Tyreek, but he's going to be forcing him the ball.
He's hit him in practice, but so for some reason you won't post those videos.
I just don't think Tua's a great quarterback.
People were tanking for Tua before they were tanking for Trevor. All I gotta say.
And now they might be tanking because of Tua. So all right, I think that will wrap it up. Is there anything else you want to add?
Make sure to check out the website, theFFfanatics.com. Follow us on Twitter, theFFfanatics3, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hope you guys enjoy the content. If you do, or if you want to see something new, whether it's on the website or here, reach out to us on Twitter, and we'll make it happen.
Yep. Remember, 51 more subscribers.